Okay, so this is the recording of the rest of the lecture for chapter 4. I'm not going to rehash the things that we have talked about in the synchronous class last time for the benefit of or for time efficacy or time management. So please bear with me. So I'm just going to scan through them para uh, um, for your reference and your review, so you wouldn't have a hard time uh, remembering what we did talk about last time. Okay. Okay, so these are some of the questions to consider. Okay, this is the definition of attention. So we have two types, the selective and the divided. Okay. So for the selective attention, this is what we have uh, talk about, and I gave some examples about it. And I also tried to help you to explain why there are some messages that gets filtered out, 'di ba? Yung pagtatanong niyo sa akin, "Ma'am, ganito po ba?" Kahit uh, even though I clearly said na another thing, it's because of the selective attention. Okay. Not attending to the whole message. Okay, so with the dichotic listening, so we also talk about the dichotic listening again, but this time the setup was different, as in this particular experiment for the dichotic listening. It was discussed in the book that there is a message being received from the left and the right ear. Okay. So this is okay, and we also talk about how the how the listener was able to pay attention, but then they never really know, or they don't really know what was said in the unattended ear, but they knew that there was a message in that ear, and also what is the gender or the sex of the person who was speaking. And then, ayan. Okay, so dito rin napaliwanag yung cocktail party effect. Why we are able to really focus on what the person, or what the person whom we are talking to in a party or in a very noisy environment is talking about, and how we are able to block other information or block other noises or conversation. Then we also talk about the models of selective attention, the Broadbent filter model, Trestman's attenuation model, and a late selection model, which was demonstrated to us by the study of McKay. Okay, again, as I'm scanning through this PowerPoint, please take time to write your notes and also write the clarifications that you want on this particular parts, and also please read your book, because there's a lot of things that were remember that the PowerPoint presentation is only for several slides long. It's not going to put every discussion or everything from the book to the slides. So that's why I'm pushing you to read all of the whole chapter. Okay, and then, ayan, ano yung mga uh, particulars ng model ni Broadbent. Okay, next is okay. So another thing that we have talked about is why are we able to um, identify our name or other things, other people's name in a party kahit na nabablock natin yung iba or hindi nare-receive ng ating ear yung full messages na iba nilang sinasabi. Okay. Okay, we also talk about the attenuation model wherein it was a variation of Broadbent's model. However, it was able to somehow answer some of the questions that was not answered by Broadbent's model. And then we also talk about the dictionary units in terms of thresholds. Why do some words have, kumbaga, we only have to, even in a low threshold, we are able to, or it's able to catch our attention. Like, for example, yung name natin or yung name ng crush natin. Whereas yung mga words that are foreign to us, why does it need a higher threshold before getting our attention? And then the late selection model wherein we process it, or we process it first in order for us to analyze the meaning. Like for example, in Mackay's study, yan, they hear this particular sentence or ambiguous sentence, and then in the unattended ear, they would either hear river or money. So depending on what they heard, yun yung gagawin nilang sentence or yun yung gagawin nilang meaning of the attended message. Kasi nga nag-i-interfere yung word or the biasing word from the unattended ear. We also talk about the load theory wherein bakit hindi po pwedeng mag-multitask when it's a high load task or a difficult task, like for example studying. Why can you not watch the TV and then study? And we also talk about the low load task wherein we try to see or we try to answer why is it easy for us to do household chores such as cooking or cleaning the house while having the radio on and singing along with the song on the radio, because these tasks are quite easy tasks and it uses lower amounts of processing. And then we also went back to understand the Stroop effect wherein we tried to test it out for ourselves, and then nakita nyo na mas mabilis itong first test or itong figure 9, 4.9 rather, kesa dito. And this is because how to read the word is getting our attention first rather than the task of saying the color of the word. So, kung titingnan nyo, yung pinapagawa ko sa inyo or pinapagawa sa atin sa Stroop effect are both high load tasks. So, the reading itself is high load, and then identifying the color of the word that you read is also a high load task. So, this is why it takes a bit of time, or may noticeable delay sa mga sagot nung trinay natin to sa class. And then we also talk about with overt attention, how do we scan things, and does this have something to do with how we perceive things as well. And then what happens when we have a bottom-up determinant of the eye movement? Or ano yung mga ginagawa natin when we use this or when we utilize this particular eye movement. And then also with the top-down determinant of eye movements. So like for example, we are doing a task, so it's usually top-down. Like when we eat, when we get the food that we want to eat, it's top-down. Okay, so just like the figure 4.15. And then we also talk about with the covert attention. So attention without eye movement, wherein the pre-cueing is very helpful. It's directing our attention without really moving the eyes. So we just focus on that. But the saccades, that the movement per se, are not noticeable. Okay. And then this one with the divided attention, pag-usapan din natin to. Wherein the study by Schneider and Schriffen, they were able to see that in that particular study, yan, nakikita naman yung target stimulus dun sa memory set. However, what they were able to see is that with practice, mas tumataas yung performance niya. So, yan. Mas tumataas yung performance niya to the point na nagiging automatic na yung task. So, this is why in terms of attention and in terms of sige, isama na natin si memory, rehearsal is very important. So, just like how you're studying. So, to be able to know or to improve your attention or focus on things, you have to practice on that para maging automatic na yung function on those things. So, hopefully, you're also getting some study skills while taking up this course kasi you will be needing it in higher psychology subjects. Okay. So, automatic processing occurs without intention and uses some of a person's cognitive resources. So, this is why when we are able to, like for example, when people are comfortable with driving na, they are able to do other tasks such as, yun nga, yung mga iba na makukulit na nag-use pa rin ng cellphone kahit nagda-drive. So, kasi nga, if this is true, then, pwede mo nga naman gawin yun. Pero, a very good example for this one is, when we commute first, diba? Or parang first time mo mag-commute sa lugar na yon, diba? Yung mga first few times mo pa lang na pumunta doon, hindi ka natutulog, di ba talagang attentive ka dun sa ano ba yung mga nakikita kong landmark, saan ba to dadaan, saan ba ako bababa, saan ba ako sasakay, ilang sakay ba. We pay attention on those things kasi otherwise we're going to get lost if we don't pay attention to those things. But later on, pag sanay ka na sa biyahe na yon, pag sanay ka na sa commute na yon, di ba matutulog ka na lang, and then suddenly you will just wake up pag ramdam mo nang nandun ka na, or from time to time you will open your eyes na asa na ba ako? Nandito pa lang, sige, tulog pa ako. May mga ganong instances tayo. So, this is because parang naging automatic na nga yung processing na ginagawa natin. Okay. And then with the distractions, ayan, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, there are still people na dahil praktisado na sila sa pagdadrive, ang lakas ng loob na nilang gumamit ng cellphone. However, a naturalistic study and a simulated study have the same results when they studied attention in terms of driving and using the cell phone. So, ang nakita nila in the naturalistic study was that the accident risk is 4 times higher when the driver is using a cell phone doon sa 100-car naturalistic driving study. On the other hand, yung kay Strayer and Johnston study, the simulated driving, ang nakita nila was that participants on the phone miss twice as many red lights and took longer to apply the brakes. So, the same result was also found even though the person was using a hands-free cell phone. So this might be because of this one. So aside from attention, nagkakaroon din, or it also impacts our visual perception. So meron silang nakita in this particular experiment of inattentional blindness, wherein the stimulus that is not attended is not perceived even though a person might be looking at it directly. So as I've asked you before, sino dito yung nakakita kagad na the sizes of the cross are different, and also there is a small square on the other on this particular picture. Diba wala naman agad-agad unless or until I pointed it out. So the same din dun sa participants nila, ganun din yung nakita or ganun din yung nangyari. And then we have this object-based visual attention, wherein we focus on that, moving our attention from one place to another, and then we have object-based attention being directed to one place on an object. So, like for example, sa mga museum, this is why the artworks in the museum, pag nakita mo yung placing sa kanila, they are placed on a specified distance. May measurement yon. Hindi po pwedeng dikit-dikit masyado yung mga artwork. Otherwise, it will be an information overload sa doon sa pupunta ng gallery or pupunta ng museum, and at the same time, hindi fully mafo-focus yung attention nung museum goer or visitor doon sa dini-display na aesthetic ng artwork. And then, with location-based, diba, ginagawa natin to when we are, pag nasa commute tayo, so we move our attention from one place to another when we're trying to understand the landmarks, so we do that. Okay. Now, in relation to this, there was an experiment done, and wherein participants saw 2 side-by-side rectangles followed by a target cue. Reaction time was fastest when the target appeared were indicated. Reaction time was faster when the target appeared in the same rectangle. So, let's see yung sinasabi niya. Okay. So, based on this experiment, ito yung cue, diba? At a cue signal appears at one place on the display, and then the cue is turned off. A target is flashed at one of the 4 locations. The participant's task was to press a button where the target was presented anywhere on the display. So, number of reaction times in millisecond for positions A, B, and C when the cue signal appeared at the position A. So, kung makikita natin, mas pinakamabilis na reaction time was on A, kasi nga, nandito nga yung cue, nung present si cue, nung pinatay na or inalis na yung ilaw for the cue, and then present si target, ayan, ito may pinakamabilis na reaction time. And then, sumunod na mabilis is yung nasa B, wherein the Q was placed in the same rectangle. And then, pinakamatagal was in the C. Okay. So, the enhancing effect of attention spreads throughout the object. Attention can be based on the environment. So, ito nga yung sinasabi ko kanina, static scenes or scenes with few objects. So, this is why a gallery or a museum looks like that. It has to be a static scene or an environment with few objects. Kaya wala kang makikita na painting tapos may may halaman sa gilid ng painting. It's just the painting and then yung ilaw na pro-project ng ng aesthetic talaga ng artwork. Kasi, parang makatch talaga yung attention natin. Or, the attention can be on a specific object. So, for a dynamic object, like for example, a group of people dancing. So, makakatch yung attention mo nun because there is movement and then, from that one, ang pinakamakakatch ng attention mo actually, parang ini-scan mo yan eh. Sino ba dito magaling sumayaw? Ay, parang magaling yung sumayaw. 'Di ba? When we watch K-pop shows, ganoon yung nangyayari. And then, we have this change blindness. If shown two versions of the picture, the differences between them are not immediately apparent. The task is to identify differences. It requires concentrated attention and search. In some games, ito yung ginagawa natin, 'di ba? Wherein papakita muna sa atin lahat ng pictures and or yung spot the difference. So yun, hindi mo makita kagad yung yung anong difference nung dalawa kasi nga change blindness siya. Parang ang titingnan, ano bang meron? Parang may pinagkaiba ba siya? Parang wala naman, 'di ba? Mga ganun. Okay. Now, this one is an experiment that shows this one, the change blindness. So, hindi natin ma-appreciate kasi nga it's a still frame, pero it's supposed to be a video per se. Kailan ba 'to nakita? I was able to see this when I was doing a refresher for my, ano bang course yon? When I was doing a refresher for my Intro to Psych na course. So, nag-enroll ako sa online university. Isa to sa mga ginamit nila. Sabi nila sa akin doon, or sabi nila doon sa task, did you see the gorilla? Parang ako, asan yung gorilla? Kasi nga, it was, parang nagpapasahan sila ng bola dyan eh. Tapos, ayun, may person pala in a gorilla suit na hindi ko kagad nakita. Because of the fact that this person is there, ito, malapit sa kanya, and this person as well, yung nakaitim. Tapos, kung hindi pa nila pinoint out na may gorilla, may person in a gorilla suit doon sa clip na yon, hindi ko pa malalaman, hindi ko pa siya babalikan. Parang katulad din ng sasabihin sa atin na, nag-cameo si ganto sa gantong music video. Ikaw naman, saan? Parang hindi ko naman nakita. So, it's change detection and that is what we're experiencing in those instances. Okay, so attention and experiencing a coherent world. So binding is the process by which features such as color, form, motion, and location are combined to create our perception of a coherent object. So this is what we do in order to make sense of what we're seeing, as we have discussed already in the previous chapter about perception. Okay. So this is, as according to the feature integration theory or FIT, ito daw yun siya, or nangyayari siya in this way. So we have the object, and then we have the pre-attentive stage nung hindi pa tayo masyadong nagpe-pay attention or totally focus sa kanya. And during the pre-attentive stage, we analyze things into feature. And then, pagdating natin sa focus attention stage, we combine the features, and then, ayun na. Eto na. The perception happens. So pretty much, this happens to us when we try to understand an artwork, especially yung mga abstract artwork, diba? Wherein, hindi naman siya totally immediate kagad kung ano ba yung message ng artwork para sa atin, or hindi naman natin kagad ma-appreciate yung aesthetics ng artwork unless we totally focus attention on that. Okay. Next, for this one, ayan. So, during the pre-attentive stage, it's usually automatic and with little effort or none for attention. And then we are also said to be unaware of the process when we do object analysis to make it into features. So, which is true naman, di ba? Hindi naman talaga tayo yung tipong pag naglalakad tayo sa museum, hindi naman tayo kagad yung, oy, ang ganda nito, di ba? Minsan, we just scan through the artworks or the displays in the museum, and then, pag nakita natin interesting siya, saka. Okay. So, in a study by Trestman and Smith, the participant report combination of features from different stimuli. They were able to see illusory conjunctions occur because the features are free-floating, or meaning to say, it's not really binding, or it doesn't really make sense. Yan. So, tulad nito, stimuli for illusory conjunction experiment. So, does it bind? Okay. Now, going to the focus attention stage, the attention plays key role here, wherein yun nga, the focus that you give, or the amount of focus that you give, the more that the features are combined, or the more na nagkakaroon ng binding, and the more na mas naintindihan mo na, or mas mapaperceive mo ano ba yung nakita mo, or ano ba yung nangyayari. So, in the study of Trestman, ang nakita nila is that the participants ignore the black numbers and they focus more on the objects. Kasi nga, ayun yung nag-fit doon sa integration ng features nila. And then, the participants can correctly pair shapes and colors. Okay. So, we have here a specific condition that affects people regarding attention, or regarding this particular concept about attention. So, patients with Valence syndrome are unable to focus attention on individual objects. So, pretty much ang nangyayari sa kanila, kung sabihin mo, tingnan mo yung picture na yon, hindi lang nila, or hindi nila ma-isolate yung picture so that they can focus on that. Other than the picture, they would be noticing other things. Definitely. And a high number, usually patients with this syndrome report high number of illusory conjunctions. Okay. So, with feature integration theory, it's mostly a bottom-up processing. Kasi nga, again, kung makikita, or babalikan natin yung, asan na ang model niya. Wait lang. Ayan. Kung babalikan kasi natin yung model niya, makikita nga natin that it really starts with the sensory memory. So, it's a bottom-up processing. And then, saka pa lang siya pupunta ng perception. Okay, going back. Nasaan na siya? Okay. The top-down processing influences processing when participants are told what they should see. So, like for example, katulad nga dun sa yung gorilla, the basketball clip with a gorilla, a person in a gorilla suit. Yun, kung hindi pa sinabi sa amin na go back to the film or go back to the clip, you will see a person wearing a gorilla suit. Yan. So, hindi pa ma-activate si top-down processing ko doon. Okay. And this is also done to us when we are told, pag nag-museum visit kayo, tas may curator, or parang may nag-guide sa inyo through your museum visit, ayan, usually, we do the top-down processing. Yung sasabihin, try nyo yan, may mga virtual museum visit, then makikita yung mga famous, artworks like Mona Lisa, and then try to go through that virtual experience, paano mo siya na-perceive, versus pag ikaw lang yung umiikot mag-isa sa museum. So, that's a good example, or that's a good thing to experience when you do that. Physiology of attention. So, attention, as seen by the studies of the brain, it actually enhances our neural responding. So, yung mga neural networks na napag-usapan natin before, mas tumataas yung firing rate niya when we pay attention. Attentional processing is distributed across a larger number of areas in the brain. So, which is, again, very true kasi nga attention helps us to perceive things. So, without attention, pretty much we would be low on perception or we would have poor perception skills. Okay. Attention processing distributed across the cortex. So, using the fMRI, they were able to detect the cortical activity during a search task. And then, what they found out is that attention to unexpected direction of motion caused the brain activity to increase in number of brain areas. So, ito siya. Yan. So, katulad dito, participants in data and they use experiment directed their attention on different areas of this circular display while keeping their eyes fixed on the center of the display. So, yan. So, pretty much, attention on one area lang. Pero, ang lumabas sa B, activation of the brain that occurred when participants attended to the areas indicated by the letters on a stimulus disc. Yan. Yan yung activation ng part of the brain. The center of each circle is the place on the brain that corresponds to the center of the stimulus. So, ito siya. The yellow hot spot is the area of the brain that is maximally activated by attention. So, pag sa sika, nag-pay attention, ito. Ito daw, ito yung yung mataas ang activation for this particular part. Okay. So, that's it for attention. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them during our synchronous meeting. So, we can talk about it further. We can clarify things.